it has been brought to the attention of many of the fandom, and I think maybe to Jared himself in the moment, maybe even, that Star Citizen may be considering fast travel as a
Ooh.
mechanic in the game here.
Oh man, do we?
Um,
I
Yep.
I
Hold
am a
on.
fan.
Wait. Line up, everybody.
yeah,
No, I was going to say I am a fan of what I like to call touching the third rail of Star Citizen. Whenever you want to, when you want to like really rile people up, you want to touch that third rail. One of those third rails I always like to touch is NPC crew sucks, and I'm tired of pretending it doesn't, because that just gets unreasonable angry comments in your anywhere.
Yeah, fuck
So this
NPC
is
crew.
exactly. Say that with your whole chest and see how many people get mad at you in the comments. Um, uh, I have a slightly nuanced take to this in the sense that I think fast travel is bad, but I think you can still accomplish the same thing without losing the sense of scale in the Star Citizen universe. And we already have an example of that, which was the public transit systems of WoW. And I remember I can't remember the name of it specifically, but where you could get on like Griffin and it would like take you to different locations, but you'd have to like literally fly on those Griffins. Um, Skyrim had something similar where like with the
Dragon. Well,
the,
Skyrim, you could
well,
you fast travel from your map at any time.
you could, but you could also take the wagon. Like you go pay some money and go take the wagon, and it would take you. Originally, that was supposed to be a 1-to-1. You get into the wagon, and it would just walk you through the entire thing. So you would have to like stay in the wagon as it moved. They found it was a little bit too slow. So I could see something like that. Even if the early implementation is just like, hey, you got a timer, 5-10 minutes, you'll be to the location, but you don't have to worry about it. You can just go use the bathroom. You can go, grab something to eat. You just have a timer counting down until you arrive at the location, which works just like a teleportation, but it adds the whole, well, now you have to sacrifice some time, maybe some money to get to that location. You're still there. You can still link up, but you can't just go instantly snap your fingers and be like, oh, I'm across the universe. It's like, nah, you got to have some time waiting while also allowing for people to ease your link up and not be able to take your ships with you, especially as the game gets bigger and they start doing what they already done with like ships where you have to pay money to get them back. I can see that starting to something like that could work, but I'm not a big fan of the whole just show up in the hangar kind of thing, because that seems like it ruins a lot of the point of travel, because that's time and energy and the risk of doing so.
So you're saying this is like something where you you can go to a Kelto, you select your respawn point, and then they humanely put your clone down, and then you wake up somewhere else.
more like you show up at like you go to like the hangar section, and there's like a kiosk. It's like, get board your Genesis Starliner today, and you just click the hangar, and it'll just, for early on you just fade to black, but otherwise you can just like go onto a Genesis Starliner and just sit there while the thing flies. Even if it's like in an instant zone, and you don't even see anything, you're just sitting there, kind of like in WoW, when you want to take the Griffin or the flying creatures to the different locations, you can actually look down and see the whole map as you're flying.
Space Waymo.
Murphy Jack, how do you feel about instant travel?
Oh, fuck it. Monetize it. $5 a piece. Get our second billion.
Fuck off, man. Get out of here.
I like it. That's the best take I've heard so far. Yeah.
That is amazing. Hyper capitalist, go.
I mean,
they
can't afford
why not?
You just solved everyone's fears about how CIG is going to monetize the game, right? Everyone's like, oh, they're going to charge a subscription fee, or oh, they're going to make it pay to win. Nope, it's just pay to travel, folks.
Ironically, that's my biggest problem. Is just there's no punishment to it. If there's no punishment, there's nothing you have to give up in order to do it. Then it feels weird. But like, yeah, pay $5 to move. Yeah, I'm okay with that. You want to move fast, you better be paying the server fees.
I mean, on a serious note, I know he's gonna pipe up too, because I really feel that it's not a good idea. It's just stupid.
It's and I really feel like that the dev, when they were talking and everything, this was kind of just like wasn't really, didn't get the whole thing out maybe, or it was just
I mean, he did. He
like
basically
one of
said
those
like
little
it's just
quips,
one of
but
those things where they have to talk about these ideas, right? That was
yeah,
his
and I
whole
mean
point.
that's
It's like they
fine,
have to look at everything, talk about
but
it.
On stream
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I
officially.
mean, look how many
Hey,
things they've said before, right? I
any
mean,
press is good
I
press,
really feel
Joker.
like it's not gonna happen. I mean, it's just, it died right
I
there.
can
Oh
see the
well,
point
hopefully,
though. I mean, how
but
it's it's tough for some people to get. I'm one of those people, right? I've got too many kids. I didn't pay attention in sex ed back in the day, so I don't have as much time to play as I'd like. Like even tonight, it took a bribe for me to be here for this outing. Um,
The
Yeah.
space dad
Space Dad,
argument.
right? So
Go on.
maybe I've got an hour, maybe 2 hours to play, like 2 or 3 times a week, um, and it's good. I mean, it's a space sim, right? So like that travel time is part of it, and I do enjoy that, and most people who are into this game obviously enjoy that. But then it's tough, like you join your org, and it's like, hey guys, what are we doing? And they're like, oh well, we're all in Stanton at Microtech, doing this, and I'm like, cool. Well, I'm at Levski, so I'll be there as soon as I can, and then obviously you got to get in the ship. You got to
Right.
fight your way through, and I know what Wicket's going to say about this, so hold on, Wicket. You got to fight your way through 3 or 4 different bugs just to get out of your hangar, and then you gotta fight with the bug to get the navigation to work, and then you gotta jump, and then hopefully the jump point actually functions properly, and you come out and stand, and then you get over there. And once that's all done, it's been at least like 30, 40 minutes of all that stuff. Um, and now you're there, and then you die, and you forgot to set your spawn. You're back at Levski. And many times the reaction to that is, well, I guess I gotta go to bed. So it is punishing, and I think that's what the dev was saying too, is that they have to have these conversations because they're trying to, and I know it's a dirty word, they're trying to make the game more accessible. But it's a very delicate balance. I mean, there are definitely games that have been destroyed by becoming more accessible. Um, I was always I love Homeworld. If anyone's played that series before, like I loved playing those games when I was younger. Homeworld 3 finally came out recently, which was like, yes, it's been so long, it's so exciting. Um, and all throughout the development process, they kept mentioning we're gonna make it more accessible, and they did, which meant it was garbage, and it didn't do all the things that the original did, and then it failed, it collapsed. And I think they could do that here too. I saw a quote recently, I forget where it was, but talking about the instant travel, someone said, once you have instant travel, the universe just becomes a lobby, right?
Yeah.
And I feel that, but I also feel the pain of not being able to easily join your org for certain things. So I don't know what the answer is there. Maybe the answer is suck it up, and I'm fine with that too, honestly. But there's they've got to have the conversation. We've got to talk about it as a community and see what we can come up with. And maybe it is just, you go to the clinic, voluntarily euthanize yourself, and you can be
No.
transported to the other clinic, but you don't have your
No.
stuff. You can't claim your ship over there. Um, I don't know. There can be downsides to that as well. I like the idea of using public transit, but also that's supposed to be another game loop, right? Like I don't want to take that
Yeah.
out. Like we're trying so hard to create this systemic open world with all of this emergent gameplay, um, and then we keep shooting it in the back of the head while it's holding a little bunny. It's like, oh, we're gonna have fueling in the game finally because Levski's coming in and you're gonna be running out of fuel constantly. And then it was like, actually, we're gonna increase the fuel reserve of each ship by like 4 times, and we're gonna cut the system in half. And now we're gonna sprinkle space stations all over the place. So really, don't worry about it. Um, so yeah, we just gotta talk about it. That's all I'm saying.
I I agree. One thing I'll just say real quickly is that I think, but a lot of stuff you pointed out is more of a CIG fix your stupid game, and
Yes.
CIG
Yeah.
you have the buttons. Please push the buttons. Like, is there a mission out there that CIG has made that is less than 20 minutes?
'Cause that is one thing like I wanted to
I
touch
don't-
on is that the fast travel thing and everything, and everybody being upset, like Duke saying dying and stuff. If we didn't run into as many bugs as we did trying to get somewhere, right? The jump gate. To just take the jump gate for one example, right? You being spit out back and Stanton it 3 times. If we didn't run into all these
Yeah.
bugs, would it
Not my
be
fault. Not my fault, by the way. It's the game.
would the traveling be that bad really if it worked consistently? And then maybe like the Genesis Starliner, the Kraken, all these big ships that the focus is transport. Give them a wicked quantum drive that makes them go 4 times as fast as an XL1 or whatever, right?
No.
Make it
Yeah.
quick. So I don't know.
Game breaking.
The point is that there are solutions other than jumping straight to instant transmission that I think CIG is jumping over. So it feels like a Scopeland. CIG's finding a solution to a problem that doesn't exist.
You know what? We're way to rehash the past there, Astropub.
Yeah. I've not let it go. It still burns in my heart.
Well, like you said, Murphy, if a big part of the delay in that whole story is the bugs, right? So if they do allow a fast travel, and that fast travel was literally you're getting in a Starliner and it's going to take you there. I think that could work. Give it even the exact same amount of time, right? As like let's say the fastest drive in the game. Just give it that, but it's not physicalized. There's no travel bugs opportunities along the way. So someone could just, click that, pay a fee for it, leave, go use the potty and get something to eat and come back and then be ready to play with their org. Something like that might work. If like we said, if it's really just all those bugs, then it doesn't need to be instant. It just needs to be hassle-free.
Yeah. And fast.
I do have a bit of an opposing viewpoint on this.
Yeah, Brock the Rab
that I
Lord
think-
Nubis, and then Wicket will finish it.
So it's, a lot of like carpool citizen. It's a lot of catching up, trying to get to people. I saw a morphologist had something where it's like treat bed logging like med beds. How they showed med beds are going to work, where there's like multiple med beds. Because, everyone wants the team bed logging back, but to effectively do that, excuse me, everyone has to bed log at the same time and everyone has to log back on at the same time. And like, if the owner of the ship is like, oh, actually I have something else I got to do. It's like, okay, well shit. Do we just not play tonight? Like, do we wait for him? Do we what do we do? Like, we all prepared to like do this big fun adventure all on the same ship because we all group bed logged. Now, are we all just going to respawn back at our home location? So I think having an easy way for everyone to spawn onto a ship together kind of just like gets the ball rolling. It cuts out that like 20 minutes of like, oh, hey, I'm at the space station. I'm here. I'm there. Like, I got to claim a ship. And I understand like preparing is part of it, but it feels like everyone needing to drive to get to the event instead of just waking up at the event doesn't feel like that drastic of an ask.
You see how it's easily
problem?
exploited, though, right? Like,
explain it to me.
well, if you're my party leader and I can log on to you and be insta traveled somewhere else, I can just pay someone money to have them let me in their party when they're somewhere else. And you effectively
No, that's not. I'm not saying party lead. I'm saying you get onto like I get onto a Kraken and I pick one of the beds and I say, okay, this is one of my spawn locations, like one of 3, one of 5, one of however many.
I see what you're doing.
I log out, and then next time I'm on, when the captain of that Kraken is on. I'm like, hey man, what's going on? Like, what are you up to? He's like, oh, nothing. I'm just like hanging out and like Levski. Think I might get up to something later. You want to join me? It's like, yeah, sure. I'll be there in a sec. You pop on, and then you're just crew. Like beds are gonna have to do something in the
you're
game.
gamifying the bed.
A little bit, yeah. And it feels like it's not like I don't know. I don't give a shit. Like sometimes like you just want to like get in there and like play, and I don't want to be chasing the team or the org to try to get kind of like what Duke was saying. Like you gotta spend 10 minutes here, and I'm not gonna like factor bugs into it, but like spend 10 minutes here, spend 10 minutes there, like trying to catch up with everybody. Then you gotta ditch your ship, and now that like when tier 1 insurance is in, like where do I ditch it? Am I going to be able to get back to that station later?
Yeah.
Like it's just like a lot of like clumsy logistics that I feel like we don't necessarily need.
Lord Nubis, what do you feel about this?
Yeah, it's got to be a mechanic that isn't instant, and it's got to cost something. Either by autopilot, like the Space Waymo concept, or by killing your clone. But I think if it's too easy, then you're not going to see the grandeur that is, traveling across the verse, and it's gonna miss something.
Yeah, I like traveling across the verse. Wicket, last word here on Insta Travel. Great idea or fantastic idea?
Well, let me preface this. I'm going to read something that I wrote in our guild/org for those purists
Org.
Discord when we were talking about this topic back and forth. There were several people, giving their feedback about this, and this is what I had to say. So I wrote, and I just want to read it basically verbatim to save it for prosperity.
For the court.
Yeah, for the court of public opinion later on when they prove me correct. So I wrote, no instant travel ever, please. Lots of arguments or justifications for fast travel are arguments about time. That's valid, but consider your metric. This is all gauged against the current game, including all the jank and bugs. Elevator eats your ship, time waste. Elevator eats you, time waste. Unable to quantum, to fill in the blank. Can't find my team, party markers are not working. I can go on, but think everyone gets the idea. Everyone knows this, you all play the game. Now consider we live in a game world that these issues are solved. We no longer need fast travel. I go on to say, I've been playing MMOs for a very long time. All the quality of life / fast travel are world killers, community killers, vibe killers. If you make the world irrelevant, you no longer need it. In fact, if fast travel is implemented in any form, it will be abused. Once in the game, it's here forever, and everyone will want more of it. There will be arguments for less cooldown on fast travel, more ways to use fast travel. Example, I need to fast travel my ship and gear to X. The argument will be it's QOL, quality of life. I don't have time to play, please make it easier to play. This is a very stupid argument. If you don't have time to play,
I feel personally attacked.
if you don't have time to if you don't have time to play, you don't have time to play. Simple. Play when you have time. I've said it in an earlier post, but planning and logistics in this game will become a major strength for the guilds that can pull it off successfully. The distance in SC is a feature and should not be spoiled by our current bugs and problems with SC in its current state and looking for workarounds. I say fix the problems and the workarounds like fast travel become irrelevant. Thank you.
Yeah, you know what I liked about that Wicket?
Defense
Bravo,
rests.
Bravo.
Defense rest.
Bravo.
I like that.
Bravo.
You call it a feature.
I think distance is a feature.
I think you're right.
Think about it.
It's part of the game.
Listen,
Let me this way. People wouldn't have been fighting tooth and nail to take away fast travel in Starfield, and Bethesda wouldn't have spent all that time and effort to actually add in travel between planets if they didn't think it was an important feature that people want in space games.
If we don't need the space that our game inhabits, if we don't need to get out of the bed and take the elevator to the hangar, if we don't need the hangar and ATC, if we don't need the warp drive / quantum drive from X to Y, from A to B, if we don't need all that, then why don't we just have loading screens? We can just pop into our ship, pop out of our ship when we need to. Why have they spent all this time and effort to animate, to create these spaces, these environments, and all this tech to enable it, just to fast travel away from it? I think fast travel in any form will be the death knell for Star Citizen in one way or another. It may happen gradually, or it may happen very quickly. I hope to God they don't ever implement it.
Go fuck yourself, Duke.
I didn't say I wanted it. I was just having the conversation. I personally don't want it.
Listen, Duke, we heard you. It's recorded.
I mean, I want it.
I don't like.
I want it to.
Yeah, well, but we
degree.
know we pegged you, Broccoli Rob.
You what?
Casual.
I think
we pegged you.
He pegs you.
We all pegged you. I pegged you. Anubis pegged you.
Mm-hmm.
Wicket pegged you. Astro probably he's new.
Oh wow!
Give him time.
Listen. As long as it's consensual, it's okay. But you got to ask Broccoli first if he wants to get pegged.
Yeah, you know what? Get in here.
Everything, boom.
It's Overcoms Radio. We're having fun here, baby. We're having fun here tonight.
Now, one more thing I will say about this. Like, if you want unattended travel, if they want to bring the Galaxy space liner in, or they want to have some kind of travel system, as long as it happens in game time,
that makes
that's
sense.
fine. That's fine. And if something there's a lot of MMOs that have travel mechanisms. World of Warcraft have the Griffins.
Yep.
I mean, they have other animals that fly. They have the boats. They have the undersea tram that goes from Ironforge to Stormwind. ArcAge in its day, it had the stagecoach.
Right.
But that all happened in real time in the game.
Well, if I log out, I can take the taxi cab to a station, and it can travel me as I log out. And so I won't get killed or anything, but when I log back in, then I can be at my other place. I think that's cool.
Yeah, but but if you logged in right away, you'd log in on the taxi.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So you think you should be able to do it and log out?
There's ways.
So you would say
there's ways to initiate travel that isn't instant and that doesn't break the reason to have the space. Listen, if we're already we barely have 3 systems right now, and they're talking fast travel. They want to release 5 systems, and
100.
The big pie in the sky dream is 100. If you're going to fast travel from system 1 to system 100, whatever that mechanism is, for me the game is over.
I want slow travel.
That's not the
game
I
want to live on my
signed up
ship.
for. I signed up for. Yeah. Well, I think I made my point.
Here's an edge case that I've been thinking about that. I don't know. There's certain cases where I feel like it's needed. Say I wake up on an Idris, right? And I don't have the permissions to go. I'm alone. The owner of the Idris is in Europe for the week. I wake up on it and I don't have permission to go to the pilot seat. I'm locked out of pretty much everything. Do I just not play the game for a week? Do I,
in that case,
punch the door open? There's got to be.
I don't think that
there's got to be problem. That's a problem that needs to be solved.
Okay, those are mechanics that can easily be solved by the developers. But for right now, that's already a solved issue. Back before meshing, and when we had ships where you can bedlog off of, if you didn't bedlog. If you bedlogged on somebody's ship back when it used to work, and that ship was no longer in the universe because guy's off to Europe and his Idris is not spawned in, you're just going to spawn back either at your home location or at your last port of call. That's easily fixed.
But that's teleporting.
That is teleporting. But that's I mean, what at some point you have to be able to continue allowed to play. Now, if you want to have
100%.
absolute, if you absolutely want to not have that, because that's an edge case, like you said, and I think in an edge case like that, there should be some mechanic to solve it. Unless you think that maybe you spawn in and you spawn in space where that Idris was last at, and now it's up for you to call for rescue. I could see that happening. But I mean, at some point, it is a game. It's not real. But then where do you draw the line?
I mean, but that's why I think like there should be 4 spawn locations that you can use. Like, I log on and someone's like, actually, I don't really want to do this. I got to log off. And you're stuck out there. And because like, that's it. Like, you're just like, okay, that's it. I have to teleport back to my home location now.
I think it's a simple solve. They either force spawn you back at your home location, or they force spawn you at your last port of call. Now, do you call that teleporting? I guess you could, but I call it spawning. I mean, it is, after all, a game, and you actually have to start from somewhere.
So, real quick. Yeah, 100% agree. But say, I don't know, and the captain's like delayed an hour. Like, there's going to be like situations where you are locked out of the game because of that. And like, Idris persists. Like, it doesn't go away. It spawns in with you. And you say, hey, on my Mobiglass, I'm actually all done here. Take me back to Orison. It just feels like, I don't know, like you bedlogged for a reason and now it's gone. And like the whole thing with like group bedlogging is that everyone has to bedlog at the same time and they all have to jump back in at the same time. It just feels like an unnecessary limiting factor to gameplay.
Okay.
That is, I think that's a problem. That's not this is a good idea and it's a good thing, but it's not the problem they're trying to solve, because the problem they're trying to solve right now is grouping up. And I feel like that's a good idea, but it's one of those things where it'll eventually have to happen down the road. But
yeah, grouping up is always the biggest barrier of entry to this game.
Well, the first part they have to fix is being able to bedlog on someone else's ship.
The first thing they have to fix is social tools that work.
I mean, we also got to think about things like persistence, being able to log back in where you last were. Those are all things that and this is why, like I said, this is a problem. This is this is a solution looking for a problem. But there's so many other things that are broken. Like, get those done first, and then maybe talk about teleportation.
Well, they need to fix the flight model first.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, every time he humbles us.
If today's any metric, they need to learn how to release a patch first.